Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. It's about time we go live. Happy that you're with us. Excited about today's show. Feeling good about the show. Ready to go live. So happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us. We are also live on WCGL 94.7 FM for those of you who are here in Jacksonville. You can also catch us on thevictorystation.org if you need to catch us streaming live online. Getting ready to go live. So let's get ready on the Victory Station. Let's get ready. Get in the game with Satara J. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the channel. Good Sunday evening, Satara J here with your favorite sports show. Get in the game with Satara J. Happy to be here with you for the week leading up to Christmas. So excited that you all could join us on this Monday night. And we've got so much to cover. We'll get to the NFL later, but let's start first with the World Cup. Congratulations to Argentina, who is your World Cup champion for 2022 after beating France on Sunday in penalty kicks. Lionel Messi finally, gets a World Cup championship for the first time ever. He scored twice in the final and converted on his penalty kick, and he finished the tournament with 7 goals in 7 matches. So very impressive for him. So just in case you didn't know this, I found a fun fact that FIFA will give out $440 million to the 2022 World Cup participants. Argentina alone will receive $42 million for the win, which is the most in World Cup history. And of course, the players will get most of that money out of the prize money. So let's move on to the NFL. I know you all are excited to talk about the Jaguars' comeback win in regulation to send the game to overtime against the 10-4 Cowboys. Jaguars now sit at 6-8. They battled a 27-10 deficit by making a 48-yard field goal to tie the game at 34 to send the game into overtime. Safety Rayshon Jenkins is the champion of that game because he picked off Dak Prescott and returned that pick for a 52-yard touchdown. Entered into the game with an extensive, both sides of the ball, extensive injury report, but the Jaguars were able to get past that. Trevor Lawrence was also on the injury report with a toe injury. The only person on the IR that did not play was outside linebacker rookie Trayvon Walker, who is expected to hopefully play this coming Thursday. The final score was 40-34. Trevor Lawrence did fumble in the fourth quarter. I was at a sports bar watching the game, and everybody was going crazy when he fumbled that ball, seemingly sending them to a defeat for Sunday, but they came back. He ended up with 27 of 42 passing attempts, 318 yards. He did have 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. And Travis Etienne did very well in the run game, 19 carries, 103 yards. And Zay Jones was the top receiver of the day with 6 receptions for 109 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let's go back a couple days to the games that we're playing on Saturday. I completely forgot, and yes, I forgot about football being played on Saturday, but man, just watching the highlights of those games, I missed some good football. I don't know if you guys missed it. Give me a call. Let me know what you thought about the game so far this week. And the Vikings had the biggest comeback in NFL history against the Colts. They are now 11-3, and they clinched the NFC North. They came back from a 33-0 deficit. Greg Joseph, their kicker, kicked a 40-yard field goal with 2 seconds left in overtime, and that's how they won the game, 39-36. The Vikings scored 22 points in the fourth quarter. Super impressive on 3 touchdowns thrown by Their icy quarterback, Kirk Cousins, he finished the game 34 of 54, 460 yards. You better believe he's icing his shoulder today. 4 touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions. 2 receivers had big games for the Vikings. KJ Osborne has 10 receptions for 157 yards and 1 touchdown. And Justin Jefferson, the guy who Kirk loves throwing to, had 12 receptions for 123 yards and 1 touchdown. And Dalvin Cook, what a day he had. He had 95 yards, both rushing and receiving, with 1 touchdown. So very impressive win there by the Minnesota Vikings. Moving along to the other Saturday games, the Browns defense shut down the Ravens to win Deshaun Watson's home debut. Wasn't a high-scoring game, but they did win 13-3. All the scoring came in the second and third quarter. Neither team scored in the first or the fourth quarter. Tyler Huntley is who was leading the Ravens. He threw 1 interception and no touchdowns. And Deshaun Watson looked decent, like he's warming back up. 18-28, 161 yards, and he threw 1 touchdown. Let's talk about another game where you saw snow flurries seemingly pushing the Bills on to victory. They came alive in the fourth quarter as the snow fell there to defeat the Miami Dolphins, who were great in the beginning of the game because there was no snow, just super cold. But the Bills did clinch a playoff spot. They outscored the Dolphins in the third quarter 13-0. Going into the fourth quarter, the score ended up being 26-21. In the fourth quarter, after Josh Allen was sacked by Jalen Phillips, Miami scored a field goal, but then it was a touchdown to Dawson Knox that sealed the game. The Bills also went for a 2-point conversion, which Josh Allen converted, and then a field goal ended the game to seal the victory, 32-29. Josh Allen's stats looked pretty good. He was 25 of 40, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he rushed for another 77 yards. These rushing quarterbacks, man, between Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Tua's another rusher when he's filling up to it. Just very high stats there in both of those games. Tua did have a decent game, 17-30, 234 yards, but it was running back Raheem that had 17 carries, 2 touchdowns, and 136 yards. He was super impressive. Chiefs went in overtime. There were several games on Saturday and Sunday that took overtime in order for there to be a victor, but the Chiefs were trailing against the Texans, seemingly looking as though they were going to lose that game, but they did come out and win in overtime, 30-24, and a 26-yard run by Jerick McKinnon. Super impressive, and that was after Houston quarterback Davis Mills fumbled the ball, and that ended the game for them. Davis Mills did end the game with 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes had a stellar performance. He was 36 of 41, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he also rushed for 33 yards. He's the other quarterback that I was thinking about in terms of that loves throwing, has a bullet of an arm, but could also get it done with his legs. He had 1 touchdown as well. And then his go-to receiver, tight end Travis Kelce, had 10 receptions for 105 yards. The Patriots, did you guys see that game? Oh my goodness, what a stellar ending to that. Their last drive attempt, right, to throw a lateral, it failed. When the lateral went wrong, Myers fumbled the ball. Defensive lineman, Chandler Jones, linebacker rather, picks up the fumble, stiff arms Mac Jones. That stiff arm was probably my favorite part of the end of that game, to prevent him from being slowed down as he ran in for a 48-yard touchdown run to seal the victory. What a win there. He went leaping into the stands. The fans went crazy. Just a great win by the Las Vegas Raiders, beating the Patriots 30-24. Cool man Joe Burrow wins big against Tom Brady. They scored 31 points in the second half winning the game 34-23. Joe Burrow was 27 of 39, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did throw 1 interception, but he definitely bested Tom Brady, who was 30 of 44, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. I don't know what you think, but in my opinion, Brady is definitely slowing down and now showing his age. My team, the Philadelphia Eagles, they started slow and played arguably their worst offensive game of the year. Jalen Hurts threw 2 interceptions in the first half. Miles Sanders could not hold on to the ball, but they are leading the Dallas Cowboys by 3 games with only 3 games left in the season. They will clinch the NFC East title and have the top seed in the NFC playoffs, meaning if you're going to get to the Super Bowl, you're going to have to go through Philly. They will have all of that happen if they win big against Dallas this coming Saturday. Hassan Reddick had 2 sacks, forced 2 fumbles, and recovered a fumble. Justin Fields was sacked 6 times by the defense. Hargrave, Sweat, and Reddick had 2 sacks each. And the Philadelphia Eagles defense is leading the league with 55 sacks on this season. A.J. Brown had a career high 181 yards receiving on 9 receptions. Devontae Smith came up big as well. He had 126 yards on 5 receptions. And then Jalen Hurts, 22 of 37, 315 yards. He did have 61 yards rushing and those 3 touchdowns. In other scores, Saturday, the 49ers ousted the Seattle Seahawks beating them 21-13. The Saints beat the Falcons 21-18, still alive in the NFC South. They do need a couple other teams to lose in order to make it in. Either way, they're still alive for now. The Steelers beat the Panthers 24-16. All rushing touchdowns were by Mitch Trubisky. Go figure that. The Lions ousted the Jets 20-17. The Jets missed a field goal to end the game. Sorry for them. The Broncos ended up winning the game. They've been on a several game losing streak, but they beat the Cardinals 24-15, who, they're without their star quarterback, Kyler Murray. The Titans did lose to the Chargers on a 43-yard field goal by the Chargers. They won that game 17-14. And then the Giants have a big divisional win against the Commanders 20-12. The Commanders' last drive was unsuccessful, sealing the win for the Giants. So right now, the standings in the NFC, the Eagles and the Cowboys both clinch a playoff appearance. The Vikings and the 49ers clinch a playoff appearance and the division title, with the Giants, the Lions, and the Seahawks still in the hunt in the NFC. In the AFC, the Bills clinch a playoff spot. The Chiefs clinch the playoffs and the division. And you have several teams still in the hunt. We've got the Chargers, the Titans, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Dolphins, and then you've got the Pats and the Jets sitting at 7-7. So these last 3 games of the season are going to be pivotal for a lot of teams. Listen, if you're going to be up this evening, you might as well watch Monday Night Football. 2 teams that are really just playing for pride at this point. You have the Rams and the Packers. Rams are 4-9, cannot make it into the playoffs. Packers are 5-8, could have a shot possibly, but it's Baker Mayfield against Aaron A-Rod. Okay, so the interesting storyline here is, can Baker prove that he might be the guy for the Rams even when Matthew Stafford comes back from injury? I don't know. Only time will tell, but Matthew did win a Super Bowl for them a couple years back. That game is at 8:15 on ESPN. The temperature, snow is expected. It's going to be somewhere around 18 to 25 degrees. Super cold there. So people here in Jacksonville, don't complain. You definitely would not rather be in Wisconsin. The Packers are expected to win that game by 7. Then Thursday Night Football, your hometown Jacksonville Jaguars, short comeback from Sunday's win. They definitely got to be feeling that. Hopefully that fuels them into playing the Jets. They will be in New York, so it will be cold. The Jets are coming off of a loss from Sunday. Don't know if it's going to be Zach Wilson or Mike White. You better believe our defense is going to be prepared to play either quarterback. That game will be Thursday night, 8:15 on Prime. Remember, that will be on Prime. And then quickly in other news, college football. Deion Sanders and Jackson State don't win a national title. They ended up losing in overtime to North Carolina Central University, 41-34. Shedeur Sanders did have a great game, though. He was 30 of 40 on 349 yards and 4 touchdowns. Frank Gore Jr. Y'all remember Frank Gore? One of the best running backs to ever play the game. his son of Southern Miss sets an FBS record with 329 yards rushing over the weekend against Rice. Can we just assume that he's going to be better than his dad? I think so. In the NBA, the NBA MVP trophy is going to be named after the Michael Jordan. Y'all know I'm happy about that because that's my guy. Anthony Davis will be out 4 weeks with a foot injury, so you better believe the Lakers are going to miss him, as well as Steph Curry missing 3 weeks with a shoulder injury. And then congratulations to Chris Paul. He graduates with a mass communications degree from Winston-Salem State University. Congrats to him. So listen, had to cover a lot tonight. Hopefully I wasn't rushing. Hopefully you caught everything I had to say, but don't worry, don't sweat, don't cry, dry your eyes. I'll be back next Monday, the day after Christmas. Feel free to bring us some Christmas gifts up here to the station. You know where we're at. This is Satara J from Get in the Game with Satara J. I'll get you guys next Monday. Be safe in those streets. Happy holidays to all of you. Don't forget to catch me here next week, same time, same place. You can follow me on all social media channels at Satara J Fitness. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Get in the Game with Satara J. It's been nice, you all. Have a great evening.